a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving.
Yo, what is up? It's me, it's Key, and we're back. We're in the building with another episode of a 7,200-second podcast. And I got my guy, as always, Coach Donte is in the building. Coach, what's going on, man?
What's going on? How y'all doing today? 7,200 seconds is back, the 54th episode. Happy, ready, excited to get into it.
Oh, man, where do we begin? And, of course, my wife I want to be recorded and go in and out today. I say we're going to get into with last night's games of the NBA playoffs. We had Philadelphia 76ers going up against the Brooklyn Nets, and we had some interesting turning of events out there in Sacramento with the Warriors. But last night, the 76ers gets the win, go up 2-0 against the Nets. They win 96-84. Tyrese Maxey took the lead in this. He was 6 for 3, 6 from 13 from 3, 33 points. James Harden didn't have a good shooting night, but Tobias Harris and Embiid stepped up with 20 points each, and Joel had 19 rebounds. Talk about this game and the Sixers turning it around, because the first half they look horrible.
Yeah, first half, like we was talking about on the morning show, they had no idea how to guard Cameron Johnson. Cameron Johnson was getting anything he wanted in the first half of the ball game. He made every shot that he wanted to in the ball game in the first half. In the second half, Cameron Johnson was in a lost and found. He was nowhere to be found in the second half. Got to give credit to the Sixers defense, but also Brooklyn Nets, they're not all that pretty good. They're not all that well. They don't create shots pretty well for themselves. They don't have a lot of ball movement. They don't have a consistent point guard. They don't have a good point guard play. Spencer Dinwiddie is more of a scorer. He's not an actual true point guard. They're lacking at the point guard situation. Nick Claxton is doing all he can, but then again, Nick Claxton cannot do anything with Joel Embiid. I like the game plan, what they came out with. That's to double Joel Embiid. I thought they stopped doing that in the second half. That's the right game. They came out with the right game plan, is to double him, get the ball out of his hand. But you had guys like Maxey, and you had guys like Tobias Harris, who people give a lot of shit to because of the contract, and which is not even his fault that he got the contract. That's an organizational issue. So now you expect to perform like a max contract where you know he's not a max player and he's a fourth option on the team. So he's not gonna be ready. He don't know when he's gonna get a touch, really. If he's gonna be a spot up shooter, if he has a chance to put the ball on the floor. But other than that, he's big. He's been averaging 20 points over the last 2 games of the series. Been very impressed with him. But again, the Sixers didn't play well at all. They didn't play well at all. The game didn't get out of hand to pretty much the fourth quarter pretty much with Joel Embiid. I like his playmaking ability. And again, man, like I say, I just don't think the Brooklyn Nets, they weren't ready for this series. They got into the playoffs within the skin of their teeth as well. But other than that, Mikal Bridges, promising. And you got I'll say you got Cameron Johnson. He's a promising piece, but the Sixers are a far better team as of right now. They make all the adjustments on the Brooklyn Nets. But other than that, the matter of things about it for the Sixers, you just want to finish this series quickly as possible as you could. You don't want the series to extend because next round, you know who you're going to play next round, and that will be Boston. Definitely Boston, the very next round.
Most definitely. Looking over at the box scores for Philly, PJ Tucker, he didn't score, but what he does in the box score, nobody talks about. This is when PJ Tucker is going to be what we got him for. What made him get a championship with the Milwaukee Bucks. he took, he was part of the Miami Heat going to the Eastern Conference Finals. PJ Tucker is going to be that dog. Get those rebounds. He'll give you a spot up three when he's open. He has the ability to play make and pass the ball around. But PJ Tucker had 8 rebounds last night. He had 7 rebounds last night off of 2-6 from. So him scooped up in the corner. I'm sorry, looking at the wrong stats. He was 0 for 4. He had 8 rebounds, 3 assists last night. Tobias Harris, excellent from the field, 8 of 14. He only had 1 3, 1 of 13, but he also had 13. He also had 12 rebounds and 20 points. He had a double-double night. Again, Joel Embiid, 6 from 11, 20 points. That was a quiet 20 points for him, but they were double-teaming him. But what happens when you double-team Joel, he's going to trust his teammates to find open shots. And that was Tyrese Maxey last night. He was on fire and cooking. So 33 points, Tyrese Maxey, 6 for 13 from 3. I don't need Tyrese Maxey to score 33 every game. But if you're gonna give me 33 points every game, I'll take it. The Nets kept leaving him wide open yesterday. It no matter what defense they was in, Maxey always was open, and Joel kept finding him. And there go his shots. He blew past somebody. I think it was Spencer Dinwiddie and got an and-1. This Maxey speed is crazy. When he gets out in the open, he'll blow right past you, go up for a layup. He is not scared. He don't care who's in front of you. He's gonna go at you. But it just seems like you said, Cam Johnson was hot in the first half. I don't know. It's going to be the game. This is going to be the one game that they're going to win. But Cam Johnson was nowhere to be found in the second half. We figured out a way to stop him. The coverages are going to go off. But what do the Nets have to do if they want to at least try to stay in this series? What do they have to do?
First of all, I will come out with the same game plan. I will come out with the actual same game plan that I came out with in the second game. I will still double Joel Embiid. If they can live, I will live with someone else making a play besides Joel Embiid. The only thing difference, you're gonna have to quickly recover and get back on the 3-point shooter on Maxey. I don't mind PJ Tucker taking open threes. I don't mind him taking open threes. He's only a corner shooter. He's only a corner shooter. He's not gonna shoot for anywhere else but the corner. James Harden, if you want to keep taking them goddamn step back threes, I will allow him to take those as long as he don't penetrate and go to the basket. I will allow him to take those. Like I was saying, Mo, I'd rather for him to be a step back 3-point jump shooter than go be a driver. Because when you be a driver, you get to that free throw line, you get a feeling of the ball going to the basket. That's how you get your rhythm. When you're struggling, you get to the free throw line. That's how you get a feeling of the ball going to the basket. So I'd rather do a better job. I'd rather do a job than try to put a hand in his face when he do it at stepping back. And I thought they did a great job with that last night because Harden struggled last night. But again, I'll come out with the same game plan. But you got to execute better on offense. That's the problem. You got to execute better on offense. And Spencer Dinwiddie is going to have a better playmaking game. He's going to have a better playmaking game and stop looking for a shot. Stop looking for a shot all the time. That's the problem right there. Instead of Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson have to create their own shot. Mikal Bridges can. Cam Johnson seemed like he created his own shot, but outside of that, you don't got a true point guard that you can run the offense through, and that scales to Philadelphia 76ers. So that's probably the problem for the Brooklyn Nets right there. Point guard play is really kind of hurting them. They don't have a natural point guard. Spencer Dinwiddie is not an actual natural point guard.
But the Nets got to definitely find a way to be at least in this series. They can't afford to go down 0-3 because if they do, we might as well wrap it up at the Barclays on Saturday. Why aren't they using Cam Thomas more? I mean, he can go out there and get you some buckets. I know in the regular season he was hot some games, 3 straight 40-point games. Why not use Cam Thomas more?
I have actually no answer to the question. Jock Vaughn can answer the question better than we can answer that question. But again, the guy can fill it up. The guy can fill it up. I don't know. I have no idea why he's not given a chance to even play basketball. But again, he's another guy that can fill it up. And he's another guy that can get in, come get buckets. But that's the organizational problem right there. That's something that Jock Vaughn, we got to talk to Jock Vaughn about and text him or call him about and see why is he not playing. So
Cam Johnson did end up with 28 points. Mikal Bridges 21. Spencer Dinwiddie had 12. Nicholas Claxton in 21 minutes didn't have any points, but he had 6 rebounds. Finney Smith 8. Royce O'Neal 6. Seth Curry 9. Joe Harris didn't give you no points. I don't know what to say about the Nets. I mean, they didn't use Patty Mills. Cam Thomas didn't even get in the game at all. Ryan Noby didn't even play. So yeah, it's up to Jock Vaughn and the Nets to figure out what they're going to do against the Sixers. Because if they keep doing this route, it's going to be a sweep. But I still think the Nets is going to win one game. I don't know which one they're going to win, but they're going to win one. Because it's going to be like us. We're going to figure out something that we're not doing and drop it. One thing different about
Miami. That's why I'd rather see Miami play the Sixers. That would have been a horrible matchup for the Sixers to even play again. That would have been a bad matchup right there.
Yeah, because something about Miami. We can't be Miami. We can't be Miami. It's like we can't be Boston. I don't get it. But something about last night's game that wasn't in game one. Game one, we had 27 straight possessions without any turnovers. In the second half, you had 5 turnovers total. This game, we had 19. So we got to go back to playing flawless basketball. I mean, I'm not saying had no turnovers, but 19, that's kind of a lot compared to 5 the first game. So game 3 will be, Thursday night. Yep. We go to Boston, we go to Brooklyn, see what the Nets can do, or do we go up 3-1? 3-0. Turning around to other series in the West that was last night, we had the Sacramento Kings, but I fell asleep on. But I seen pieces of it. 114 to 106. The Kings get it done again. Donte, are the Warriors in trouble, or is it not too early to panic?
I think it's kind of. I'm gonna say it's too early because they played well at home. I'm gonna still give the Warriors a puncher's chance. I just cannot. Just because they lost, they struggled on the road this year. They struggling on the road in the playoff. But again, one thing we know, the Warriors have been in this situation before. They have been down 3-1 before, and they're able to come back and win a series against Oklahoma City Thunder. But if you want to go back and say, hey, that's not that same Warriors team, then like I say, hey, they got 2 home games. All they got to do is protect their home court like Sacramento did. But don't get me wrong, Sacramento can win a road game. They can go in there and win the way the Warriors are playing as of right now. The way the Warriors are playing, they look old. They look slow. Sacramento look much more faster. They was pressuring Stephen Curry 90 feet on the floor, making him work. Then he have to run off and try to get open. Davion Mitchell done a great job last night of doing that. Also combined with hitting a big 3 in the corner to pretty much put the ball game away out of reach. But you just got to give the Sacramento Kings credit. Sabonis didn't have the game that he had in game 1. He had a great game last night. Also, D Fox made a big 3 at the top of the 3 late in the game to pretty much, sealed the game, put him up by 2 possessions. So just nothing but timely shots that Sacramento made, timely defense. The Warriors sloppy, turning the basketball over. Both teams were sloppy in the first half. Sacramento had 10 turnovers in the first half. Golden State had 14 turnovers. The only thing about it, Sacramento turned the ball over 4 times since then. They cut down on their turnovers in the second half. Golden State kept on turning the ball over in the second half. And other than that, they got to make some adjustments, man. Malik Monk looking like an all-star, looking like a superstar out there. He looked unstoppable out there. The move that he put on Jonathan Kuminga and the step back 3-pointer, that was sick. I was sick as hell right there. But Sacramento looked like the faster team, better team, 50-50 balls. They look way better right now than the Golden State Warriors. But let's see. Can Golden State adjust? I would give them a puncher's chance to win a game at home. But I would not be shy if Sacramento take one in Golden State to make it really, really difficult. So I still give Sacramento the puncher's chance.
Now, if they go down 0-3, do you panic then? If they go down 0-3, I think they in trouble.
If they go down 0-3 or 3-1, you panic. Because, again, you can't win in Sacramento. So you can't not win in Sacramento. So even if you do win a game at home and you lose either one at home, you gotta panic because you can't win. You gotta go. That means you gotta go back to Sacramento, which you're gonna have to do anyway because Sacramento is the higher seed if it goes 7. So you're definitely gonna have to do that. But the best case scenario for Golden State is to win these 2 games at home But check your home court. Go back to Sacramento. And try to figure out a way to get a win in Sacramento, knowing that you come back home and that you're damn near unbeatable at home. But other than that, if Sacramento take one of these games at home on Golden State court, I think the series may be a wrap. I think it may be a wrap. I don't see how they can beat Sacramento in Sacramento. They haven't played well on the road all year long. So I will actually give them a puncher's chance to win at home.
Most definitely, because after game 4, it goes back to 1-1. So two in Sacramento, 2 in Golden State, but game 5 will be in Sacramento, and so is game 7. If they go game 7. But the Warriors got to show some sense of urgency. I think if they go down 0-3, they got to have a sense of urgency. But the first couple of minutes last night, I was like, oh no, they came out hot. They was fast. I'm like, Golden State is going to be in for it tonight. Just run down these stats real quick. Golden State, we all know what happened. We're going to talk about the Draymond Green situation. He only had 8 points. Kevin Looney had 6. Wiggins looked good coming. I know he came off the bench the other game, but he started last night. 22 points, 28 points for Steph Curry. We had Klay Thompson with 21. You get 13 points off of the bench for Kuminga. But here's the difference here. You get 24 for Sabonis. You get 13 from Harrison Barnes. D Fox, 24. Kevin Huerter contributed with 15 points. You got 14 points out of Mitchell. And then you get 18 from Malik Monk. They had a good all-around couple players, more than 6 players who was in double figures. That was the difference right there in the scoring. You had bench contributors for the Kings who was giving you buckets, as compared to Warriors who bench wasn't giving you no help. Now, going to the Draymond Green situation, do you think they both should have gotten some type of flagrant foul, even though, so we did see Sabonis hold his leg, but what's going to happen with Draymond Green? He's not going to get, I don't think he's going to get suspended, but if he gets another flagrant or some type of flagrant 2, he could be suspended. We all know that. You can't get another foul in the playoffs. You get suspended. What do you think about the whole Draymond Green situation?
I think it was wrong for Draymond Green to step on somebody like that. He clearly know what he was doing. He clearly know he was stepping on Sabonis to try to send a message. But at the end of the day, Sabonis, I'll say Draymond Green used to trying to get up under people's skin. Now Sabonis got up under his skin and got him put out. Like, I believe the technical was the right call. The Sabonis, it wasn't a basketball play. And he did grab his ankle. He did grab his ankle right there. But Draymond Green was absolutely wrong stepping on his chest. It hurt the man really, really bad. Could have hurt the man really, really bad by doing that. So Draymond Green was completely wrong. And I definitely agree with the call of kicking him up out of the game, because I thought that was unnecessary just to step on the man's chest like that. He could have really seriously hurt the dude. He did that with LeBron James, kicked LeBron James, and he had to be suspended for that series. And a lot of people say the only reason they lost was Draymond Green. What happened to the other 3? What happened to the other 3 games when he was available? He was that other 3 games when they lost. So if he was to get suspended and they lose game 3, again, what's going to be the excuse? Draymond Green was out. Okay, what happened to other games that he was in? And he wasn't he was a factor, but he wasn't a factor for them enough to win games. But other than that, I thought it was the right call. I thought Draymond Green definitely handled the situation wrong. By stepping on a dude, that was disrespectful. But again, Sabonis did not make a basketball play. He was wrong for grabbing a man's ankle and starting the thing. But again, that was a win situation for Sabonis, because it got him kicked out of the game. It got him kicked out of the game and got in Draymond Green's head. So other than that, no matter how much we think Draymond Green is a dirty player, and that was a dirty play right there by putting your foot up on a man like that, and he's still valuable to Golden State. He gets other guys shots. He gets Curry shots coming off those screens. He gets Klay Thompson shots. He's a good passer. He's a great defender. So no matter how dirty we value him, and I think he's a dirty player, but other than that, he's still valuable to how Golden State plays, and a big part of the offense, how Golden State plays. So again, unfortunate, but I thought Draymond Green crossed the line right there, but not holding and also holding Sabonis accountable for starting to play and grabbing his leg, because he also could have twisted Draymond's ankle, but Draymond went a little bit too far by stepping on the guy. And he knew the guy was right there. You can't tell me you didn't know where you were stepping in. You definitely knew you were stepping in.
That reminds me of Albert Hainzer. Remember he stepped on a guy. That's what that made. That's what that made me think of. But no, they was right for definitely giving them both the tech. But like you said, Draymond went too far a little bit, stepping on him. I mean, you could have just left that alone. Went to your corner. Sabonis would have went to his side. Nothing would have been about it. But Sabonis was down for a while after he did that. I don't even know how hard that he stepped on him. Like, that's your whole chest, sternum, ribs. Anything could have happened. Something could have been a similar situation with DeMar Hamlin. How bad, how hard you hit a guy, could your heart, anything could have happened. God forbid nothing bad happened. Anything could have happened to Sabonis by him getting kicked like that. But we all know Draymond Green is the villain, and we all know, regardless of how people feel about Draymond Green, he is a valuable piece to the Warriors. We saw how when he wasn't there for 22 games in the regular season, how the Warriors was. So Draymond definitely is a big piece. Moving on to tonight's games, just thoughts on tonight's game. So game 2's for the Hawks and Celtics. We got the Knicks and Cavaliers, which is going to be a great, interesting series as well. And then we got the Clippers and the Suns. Do you think the Hawks got any chance?
No, I don't think they have a shot in hell.
So Boston's taking game 2.
Yes, I think it's borderline maybe a sweep.
So we got the Clippers and the Suns. So what do you think?
I think they're good enough to win a game. I think the Hawks team is talented enough to win a game, but Boston is just better. And I still think the Atlanta Hawks will win a game at home, but I don't think they have a shot. I don't think they have a shot in the hell to win a game, win the series.
What about the late game with the Clippers and the Suns?
Clippers and Suns. I'm gonna go for the Clippers to win game 2 tonight. I'm gonna go for the Clippers.
Even though Westbrook had a horrible shooting night, but his defense in game 1 was clutch. 3 for 9, no rust. Jesus Christ. I mean,
I think the Suns may be in a little bit of trouble. They don't got a depth. They don't got depth on the bench, and I think that may come back to hurt them. I think they may come back. I think they may come back and hurt them. So I don't think the Suns have a lot of depth. The Suns got to rely on their starting 5, while the Clippers have a bench. And not to mention, the reason why Eric Gordon is starting because of Paul George. Paul George is out. And if Paul George was healthy, was in that lineup, you got Eric Gordon, Norman Powell coming off the bench, Terrence Mann coming off the bench, Mason Plumlee coming off the bench. That's like a damn starting 5 in the whole NBA. So again, I believe when it all comes down to this series, I believe the Clippers bench will outweigh will help their starters, take a lot of pressure off their starters, and may help them win this series. I'm not going to say I'm still leaning towards the Suns a little bit, but it depends on what happened in game 2 tonight. The Suns are in really deep trouble.
So if they go down 0-2, you think
I think the Clippers will get them. I think the Clippers will get them at that point in time. Because the only reason I think the Suns will lose the series, they don't got a bench. They're not deep. They're not deep at all. You just got to rely on your starting 5. And you're deep. I mean, Landry Shamet, for 24 minutes, giving you 4 points off the bench. That's not good enough. And you have Bismack Biyombo coming off the bench. You have Jock Landale coming off the bench. That's not a bench to be scary about. You try to play a Kobe, Wainwright, they're not giving you nothing. So it's just a lack of depth. And I think they're going to have to rely on their starters a lot more. And I think that's going to tire out the starters in the series, while the Clippers can go to their bench. And rely on their bench.
Facts. And then we got the Cleveland and New York. New York did take that series, that first game. That was a fun series. I think the I think the Cavs could tie the series up tonight. But here's a question here. How have the Cleveland Cavaliers finally emerging from the shadow of LeBron James?
They made some good moves. They drafted well. I mean, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland. They gave him the keys over pretty much Colin Sexton. They gave him the keys. They realized Darius Garland is a better point guard than Colin Sexton was, even though Colin Sexton can score. But Darius Garland is a better actually a better player, actually the better player. Then they went out there and got a veteran, Ricky Rubio. They went out there, they got Jetty Osman still who can play. Dean Wade can shoot the basketball. Evan Mobley, a rim protector, and also in the trade, Karis LeVert coming over, helping them really good. He's got to play better in the series. And Jared Allen, they got them a rim protector. So Cleveland's able to draft well. They're able to make moves. They're able to make some moves. And pulling the trigger on Donovan Mitchell has really helped them out a lot.
Most definitely. Definitely a big piece was Donovan Mitchell. Nobody's seen Donovan Mitchell going to Cleveland because everybody thought Donovan was going to New York. But when that notification popped up, everybody was like, "What? Cleveland?" That was far from everybody's thought process, him going to Cleveland. But it really works because Donovan Mitchell balances out Garland. I like Jared Allen. Everybody always clowning Jared Allen maybe because of how he dresses, because he's a 28-year-old. He's a 20. Crazy part is he's only 23, 24, and he looked like he in his 30s. So leave the man alone. So what? He not flashy with his money, don't got jewelry. He wants to just be plain old Joe with his afro. Let him do him. But the man can ball defensively when it comes to playing basketball. I'll take Jared Allen over freaking Gobert. Y'all know how I can't stand Gobert. I'm taking Jared Allen over Gobert. At me if you want to. I'm taking Allen over Gobert. That's just me personally. But I do think the Cavs will tie it up in this series. What you think?
Yeah, I think I got Cavs game 2 tonight. I think Darius Garland got to take more than 13 shots as well to help Donovan Mitchell out. And I need the big man to get their ass up in there and rebound and stop playing soft inside the paint. So, yes, I got them. I definitely got them.
He say look like Jim Kelly equal black belt Bones. Yeah, he's only 23, 24. He's not, y'all, like, he looks like he could be 30. He's still a young dude. He's not even over 25 yet, I don't believe. That's the crazy part. And I know the Nets is kicking themselves in the head for letting him get traded. Or letting Andre Drummond go. I mean, Andre Drummond can't, he may not be able to score it, but that boy is a rebounding machine. He can at least get you 20 points. 20 rebounds a game. Before we move on to some other things, Coach, you got your list. Who is on the list today? Who will be number one today?
So, who's on the number one list? Y'all about to find out. This is a playoff edition, NBA playoff tradition right here. Last time I did an all NCAA, women's and men's. Yes, I do baseball, but this is NBA playoff edition. So we're going to go with number 5. We're going to go with Jalen Brunson in a win in the game 1 victory. Got the job done in the game 1 victory. Got a clutch shot off the glass, left-handed shot off the glass. 27 points, 2 steals for Jalen Brunson. Was really key to this game in game 1. And Jalen Brunson is here. Jalen Brunson has emerged. And his daddy did a good job of pulling him away from the Dallas Mavericks, getting them come over to the New York Knicks. And now all of a sudden, Jalen Brunson, hey, you can't say he don't make an impact because Dallas is at home. He's in the second round of the playoffs. So as soon as he left Dallas not even a playoff team. So Dallas got to figure out some stuff. So number 4, I got Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is number 4 up on this list. 29 points, 3 assists, 12 rebounds for Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown played well in the game 1 blowout versus the Atlanta Hawks. My goodness, I'm glad I didn't do that game. Glad I got some sleep on that game. That game was over with at halftime. I would have ended the stream at that point in time. So I'm glad I didn't have to do that game right there. That game was a murder scene. But other than that, game number 3 got Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard was hot in the second half of that Clippers game and that Phoenix Suns game. Definitely came out and outplayed Kevin Durant, outplayed the whole Phoenix Suns squad. 38 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists for Kevin Durant. For Kawhi Leonard. Number 2, keep telling y'all about this goddamn dude. He's an all-star in the regular season. In the playoffs, this dude turned into an all-world player and a superstar. Jimmy Butler, number 2 on my list, 35 points, 11 assists, 5 rebounds, 3 steals for Jimmy Butler. The man turns into I don't know what he turns. He turns into a got there. You know what? I hate to throw this up, but he turned into Rama Valdez against the Phillies in the playoffs. In the playoffs. When he get into the playoffs, that's what he turned in. He turns into a superstar in the playoffs. Literally, he's an all-star and an all-defensive player in the NBA in the regular season. Yes, you crapped on you talk about them. The reason why I'm so high on Miami, because again, they play well. They are built to play in the playoffs. They might not win the series again. They may not win it. But again, they're going to make life hard for the Milwaukee Bucks. They're going to be a tough out. And like I said, Philadelphia ought to be glad they avoided Miami. They ought to be glad they did that part right there. But other than that, Jimmy Butler is number 2. And number 1, I got D Fox, game number 1 when they beat game number 1 victory over the Golden State Warriors. And you got De'Aaron Fox, 38 points, 5 assists, 3 steals. Was big, huge in game number 1. Was big in the fourth quarter in game number 2. In honorable mention, I got Anthony Davis, honorable mention, 22.7 goddamn blocks and 12 rebounds.
He had a block party and then
nobody
to the damn barbecue.
Nobody was invited to the party. I could have brought some drinks or something like that. Or some brewskis.
But D Fox, first time on the coaches list.
Yep, D Fox.
Shout out to De'Aaron Fox.
He's
on
from
the coaches list.
So
Can't wait to see who's on next week's list.
Yep.
Since we're not going to be on for Wednesday, we got games 2 of the rest of the playoffs. We got the Grizzlies and the Lakers. Now, come to find John Morant, he aggravates some tissue in his hand, and he is a game time decision. Does John Morant play? Or if he does not play, is this series over?
If he don't play in the series, I think the Lakers beat him. If he don't play in the series. If he don't play in the series, I believe the Lakers take control of this series. And I believe they win. I believe as of right now, I believe they win game 2. So, like I say, if John Morant doesn't play, I feel like he's going to play again in the playoffs. I just feel like he's going to play again. I feel like they're doing everything they could to make him healthy, to get him healthy. But again, I believe the Lakers will take over the series if he doesn't play. Now, I believe Memphis can beat him. I believe Memphis can beat the Lakers without John Morant because they show the ability to do it. You got one of the top point guards, 6-man point guards in the league, and Tyus Jones, for us not turning the ball over and for us taking a high percentage of shots. So he's good enough. He should be a starting caliber point guard. If he was anywhere else, he'd probably be a starting caliber point guard with his efficiency and his ability to be a true point guard. So I believe Memphis still can beat him without John Morant, but I don't think they won't. I think they need John Morant to win the championship.
I mean, I like the role players for Memphis. You got David Roddy when he's good. What's the other dude name? I can't pronounce. I forget his name. I forget his name that I can't pronounce.
He played for Memphis?
Yeah, hold on. I'm about to go to him right now.
What's his number?
Oh no, you know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about Aladama.
Adama.
Yeah.
Adama.
When he's hot, he can go off. I like David Roddy. When he's hot, he can go off. Conchar can give you a few points. Luke Kennard can come in and start shooting threes. Dylan Brooks, when he's not trolling, and he can give you some good quality buckets. Tillman, well, we know that he's there for defensive purposes, but defensive player of the year goes to Derek Jackson Jr. and it balls out when he could defend, he can put buckets, He can score you buckets. And of course, you got Desmond Bane when he's not in foul trouble, he can definitely go off. So this team definitely can win without John Morant. It's just, can they against a dominant Lakers team, especially if Anthony Davis is in the paint getting buckets like he did, 7 blocks. If LeBron is in his bag, what if Huchimara goes off again? Reeves goes off again. It's going to be very hard to stop a Lakers offense as dominant as they were the first game, especially if Rui and Austin Reeves go off again, you can forget it. Even if John Morant plays, I think he's not going to be the same because his hand is going to be bothering him. I'm going to take the Lakers here to win game 2.
Yep, I got the Lakers winning game 2.
See, Austin Reeves has got me as a fan. Scott Foster reffing the game tonight. You know that's bad money when it's with him and Chris Paul, because it seems like he can't win when Scott Foster's reffing. That's crazy. It's a crazy stat. Yep, get a guy who gets playing time, and Khan thinks the Lakers going to win as well. All right, so then we got the Heat and the Bucks. The Bucks go 0-1. Miami did take that opening game. Giannis did go out with a back injury, but I think he's a game time decision too. I think the X-rays were negative. So, do you think Giannis plays?
Yes, I think he plays, and I think the Bucks win game 2.
Chris Middleton definitely stepped up when he left. We was missing Middleton last year in the playoffs, but Middleton took the brunt of the load. He had 33 points. He was 12 of 20 from the field. Porter stepped up big, had some minutes, but you definitely can see they was missing Giannis. But like you said, Miami is a different monster when it comes to the playoffs. I don't know what switch they flip in the playoffs, but it's ridiculous how they can't be stopped in the playoffs. Jimmy Butler, 35 points, like you said. Bam stepped up. Bam can't have these Katy Perry syndrome moments. If y'all don't know what the Katy Perry syndrome is, I'm going to let y'all know what it is. Katy Perry had a song called Hot and Cold. You can't be inconsistent. So, therefore, you got Katy Perry syndrome. Bam can't have that in the playoffs. You can't go to scoring 22 points and then the next night have 4 or 5 points. You can't do that. So, Bam has to be consistent. Tyler Hero's going to be out at least to the finals if they make it to the finals. He broke his hand. So, now you don't have Tyler Hero. But who do they insert in the lineup? The $1 Million Man and Duncan Robinson. Why not have him play? You paid them to. Let him get them minutes. Yep. So Duncan Robinson probably is going to be inserted into the lineup. You got Max Strus, who's another Katy Perry syndrome player, who's hot and cold one game. One game he can go off, the next he's inconsistent. So if Miami definitely wants to win another series, these role players has to come to play. Giannis, I'm sure he'll play, but we don't know how much impact his back is going to be on. Will he be his dominant like self? Only time will tell. But I'm gonna give the series. I'm gonna give the series to the Bucks tomorrow night. I think they tied up 1-1. Brett is your Milwaukee fan. He said they always come out flat game 1. Not worried. They are not going to shoot 60% from 3 every game.
Brett, who they want fired after game 1? Who they want fired after game 1? Who they talking about firing after game 1?
But where's Kyle Lowry been at? That Kyle Lowry in that playing game was unstoppable. Now he is nowhere to be found.
Kyle Lowry had a solid game. I think I saw his stats. He had a solid game.
He had 2 points.
He had 2 he had 2 points for real?
Yes. 2 points, 3 assists, and 1 rebound in 19 minutes the first game.
The first game 1. Let me see. Okay. I didn't see it right. Okay. I thought I saw
he said Bud getting fired again.
Said Bud getting fired. Oh my goodness. Y'all gonna fire the damn dude.
But I think the Bucks tie the series up here. And then you also got the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. I'm still gonna go Denver. It's something about Minnesota. 109-80. Come on now, man. I would rather have OKC here. At least OKC probably would have gave them a fighter's chance. Minnesota loses the series anyway, but I think they go down 0-2. But they didn't really have much scoring on that first game. Gobert gave you 8. Cat gave you 11. Conley gave you 8. The only person in double figures was Anthony Edwards, Kyle Anderson off the bench, and Noah with 12. You can't win games like that. You're not going to beat no teams like that. Gobert, he had 13 rebounds. Karl Anthony Towns had 10. But where was the scoring coming from? Mainly from Anthony Edwards. He can't do it all. He can't do it all. So Denver's taking this series. I'm calling a sweep. Denver sweeping Minnesota. But yeah, that's my gripe about Minnesota. I think it was a bad move of getting Gobert. They wasted all their draft picks for one dude.
I'm glad you didn't ask me because, like I said again, it's not a snooze ball in hell. They win in the series.
Yeah, no, I was going to ask you that because we already know.
No, I already know, and I didn't think they would be good at the start of the year when they got Rudy Gobert. I didn't think anything would change.
You see Anthony Edwards when they got Gobert, he was like, oh, like in his head, it was like we really.
Anytime they get a guard, anytime they get somebody like a superstar caliber, don't you realize they make the playoffs? But with Karl-Anthony Towns, as good as he is, they don't have no type of progress at all. They always miss the playoffs. But when they get a generational talent like an Anthony Edwards or Jimmy Butler, things have changed, and all of a sudden Jimmy Butler leaves, the team gets up out of the playoffs for the next 2 years, and then Anthony Edwards gets drafted. His second year, they in the playoffs. Then they're in the actual playoff. Then they go to the play-in tournament. They go to the play-in tournament. They win that one because of Patrick Beverley. They trade them guys away. Then all of a sudden they get Rudy Gobert. Then they still work. They worse than what they were the year before last. They had to sneak up in the play-in tournament by beating OKC. Then you come out and you about to get wiped out the face of the earth because your superstar Karl-Anthony Towns just decides to take every single playoff night out. Decides to say, hey, I ain't gotta play.
It's just sad. Like I feel bad for Minnesota fans. You know, Jimmy Butler leaves. Kevin Garnett leaves. You know, KG was a Timberwolves forever until, you know, things got hard. He went to win the championship. What happened? Boom, he's in Boston. They get the championship. So I mean, Jesus Christ, what Damian said. OKC barely beat the Pelicans. They still wouldn't have. I'm not disputing that. They still wouldn't have a chance against Denver, but they would put on a better performance than Minnesota. That's all I said. They would put a better performance than Minnesota. So Zach Edey is declaring for the draft, but he's able to keep his eligibility, so he's going to be in the draft. What's going on, Burn? So he's going to be in the draft. Any more draft news out of the Eddie's going in? Let me see. So UConn's Jackson is going to test the waters. Andre Jackson, he's going to test the NBA draft waters. So he's going to declare. Let's see who else. Isaiah Wong, he's entering the draft for Miami. So we're going to get some good quality guys entering the NBA draft. So, of course, you know, we're going to be talking NBA draft. We did a mock draft last year. We're going to do one again this year as well. Who else? The guard from Syracuse is transferring. Auburn's ex-guard Chance Westry is going to Syracuse. So a lot of shakeups in the NCAA. Sixers sweeping the Nets, playing the Celtics next round. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that was my other question. So, Coach, seeing the Sixers, I know, play how they're playing now, with, you know, everybody getting involved. It's a lot of team ball. Even the bench is starting to come alive a little bit. Because you did see House, you did see McDaniels yesterday playing good defense in the perimeter, something we haven't really had. If they're playing this well, do you think the Sixers can possibly beat Boston in the 7-game series, go out the second round?
No, because they're not really even playing well like that. They played well the first game, but they didn't play well the second game. They didn't play well at all in the second game. Actually, Tyrese Maxey got hot and hit 3-pointers, and I believe Brooklyn just ain't a good team, ain't a better team than the Sixers. So I believe they play the way they played. I don't believe they beat Boston. I don't think the Sixers are playing that well. I just think the Nets are that bad in the series. That's all. I just think they're that bad. They don't got enough scoring. They don't got enough firepower. But like I say, other than that, I don't think the Sixers are beating the Celtics if they keep playing the way they play. I don't think they're beating them. I believe the Celtics they can counteract anything that the Sixers will be able to do. They got way better players. They got better shooting. They got better defensive players. They know how to guard up. They know how to play.
All right, so that was the end of the NBA. We definitely move over to the NFL. We got some news out of the NFL yesterday. Jalen Hurts finally gets paid $250 million for 5 years, 179 of that guaranteed. And Harry Roseman is the magician that he is with the years with the cap. It is amazing. And Jalen has a no trade clause, and that's the first time in history anybody ever done that for the Eagles. He finagled the cap so well for the next upcoming years that if the Eagles wanted to possibly bring in another superstar or some talent around Jalen Hurts, they could do so. Shout out to Harry Roseman. I told y'all, if however it was to go to the dealership, even though I did go to the dealership without him because I did get a new whip, but he probably would have brought the price down just a little bit more to what I had. But what do you think about Jalen Hurts finally getting the bag?
I think Jalen Hurts getting the bag. I like it. I like the bag that he's got. He's definitely proved that he's worth it. He's definitely proved that he's worth it. But other than that, like his leadership, like the way he improved, like the way he does improve. He proved his passing. But like I say, the weapons kind of helped that out with A.J. Brown, helped that out a little bit. But then again, like I say, man was going to be an MVP candidate. So, again, just got to give Jalen Hurts credit for what credit due. Just got to give him credit due. He deserves the bag. And we'll see what he do in the next offseason. Now, like I say, next year, a lot of pressure going to be on him because he's going to be highest paid, quarterback in the league. And, he's just a lot of pressure is going to be on him. And people will be watching him now that he got that money next year. A lot of people's going to be watching him more than ever. But for him to come in, not to play right away, but then he gets a shot at the end of the season and have a shootout with Arizona and almost beat Green Bay. Then he comes back, makes the playoffs. When it was supposed to be in a rebuilding year, then to come back, lead the team to the Super Bowl. Just got to give him credit for it.
Yeah, most definitely. And he also did have ankle surgery today, but he's going to be fine going into regular season training camp. He's going to be good. No need to worry. But also in that deal, he's still going to be playing off of his last year of his rookie salary before he moves into the new deal. Whatever Howie Roseman did, I'm telling you, the man's a genius. We're going to break it down because here's how it's broken down. So Jalen Hurts, salary cap numbers for the next 4 seasons after yesterday's $255 million extension. So for 2023, $6.15 million for the year 2023. 2024, 13.66. Year 25, 21.77, and 2026, 31.77. What? That's a good team-friendly deal. Again, if the Eagles wanted to have pieces, they can get around them. They can without hurting their cap. I don't know what type of math or Harry Roseman did in college when it comes to numbers, but the man's a genius. I'm sorry. The man's a genius when it comes to contracts, getting guys that's not really hurting the cap, like a Rashad Penny. God forbid if something happened to Penny this season. We all know he's injury prone and hasn't really been healthy a full season. He was only $1 million for 1 year. It's not hurting us if he loses, if he gets hurt or whatever. It's not going to hurt us at all. It's only $1 million for 1 year. So it's not hurting anything compared to as if Bradbury gets hurt, knock on wood. We just signed him to a good deal. So it's not going to be a big difference. And those guys that we lost and they got bigger contracts like a Miles Sanders or a Hargrave, we already have pieces in places for those guys that we missed, that we lost. So Harry Roseman I still believe he got something up his sleeve. Donte, if he pulls a Buda Baker, I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose it. Because Howie would be the guy to bring in a Buda Baker knowing we need the safety and knowing Buda Baker don't want to be in Arizona. It's going to be a done deal if that happens. And Buda Baker already said he likes Nick Sirianni. Some things are stirring up. So that would be crazy if Howie did pull that trigger somehow, maybe on draft day. Who knows? We've seen crazier things. We've seen A.J. Brown on draft day. Didn't see that coming. We've seen Harry Roseman do some crazy things to make this team better. He was on my poop list for a very long time, but he sensed me coming because I live 10 minutes from Lincoln Financial. I will go down there. Also, we had some moves for Kenny Pickett and the Pittsburgh Steelers. They got himself a receiver. You got Kenny Pickett, you got DeAndre Johnson, and you got George Pickens. Now Allen Robinson, add him to the mix, and they got him for a dang on cheap Will Smith CD and some M&Ms, the fun size that you get to Halloween, the kids basket. That's how cheap they got that deal for. How big is this getting Allen Robinson to Pittsburgh, knowing he wasn't really, if his name wasn't Cooper Kupp, so that's why he wouldn't get thrown to down there with the Rams. What do you think about this move?
I don't think it's gonna be much. I don't think it's much of a big move at all. I just don't think Robinson is who he is anymore. After leaving Jacksonville, the ACL tear. Yes, he had a couple of good seasons in Chicago. After that, the relationship got terrible. And then, he looked like a shell of himself over there with the Rams. I don't think it's gonna help. I think George Pickens is a guy over there in Steeler Nation. I think George Pickens is that guy over there. Deontay Johnson shows signs that he can be, but other than that, like I say, if Allen Robinson becomes a player and help these guys out, then I'll change my tune. But other than that, I got faith in Pickens. I got faith in George Pickens, Najee Harris, and I got faith in Deontay Johnson, even though he had a down season last year. But I got faith in the coaching staff, Mike Tomlin. That's why I got my faith in.
Hasn't had a losing season in 15, 17 years now. What's going on? Yep. You might as well just let Tomlin be lifetime coach. Don't ever get rid of him.
He needs to just retire on his own terms. He needs to retire on his own terms if he want to retire.
So Damien, to answer your question, yes, we all know CJ deserves his money. But again, it's not like we didn't offer him money. He saw what Jesse Bates in the safety market looked like, and he said, no, I'm going to turn down this deal that Howie Roseman and the Eagles offered him. He wanted to go test and see what everybody else was offering. When he noticed he couldn't get that deal, he said, no, we gave it to Bradbury. Now he's stuck with a 1-year deal and with the Lions. So that's how that happened. It's not like we didn't want to pay him because, of course, we wanted him here. He wanted more money than what we offered him because he thought the safety market was going to be better. He realized it wasn't. He turned it down, and now he's with a 1-year deal with the Lions, getting what, $7 million when he could have had more than that. But anyway, whatever. CJ, more power to you with the Detroit Lions organization. Hopefully, you do good, and hopefully next year you can prove to yourself that maybe someone else will get you in a long-term deal. Who's to say we won't bring you back? But after the bad blood that you left, who knows? But anyway, Burns said he about to be a Steelers fan. Golf senses the Lions' urgency heading into the season. Do you think the Lions get a quarterback, or do they still ride with Goff?
I think they go with Goff. I don't think they get a quarterback. I think they go with Goff. I think Goff had an underrated 2 years over there, man. Goff can get the job done when he can get the job done over there. I don't know. He probably maybe not a Super Bowl winning quarterback, but he's good enough to get this team to the playoffs next year, and they might be the favorite to win the division next year. Jamison Williams on a full season. Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of the emerging stars in the league. Khalif Raymond. Again, they got also Montgomery too, man. Montgomery, if he can stay healthy, that dude can be solid. Catch out of the backfield, can run the football, and their secondary is going to continue to get better and better with Gardner Johnson, Cam Sutton. Their secondary is going to be better. I think they will draft a corner in this coming draft, and I believe that corner will be Devin Witherspoon. They will go after Devin Witherspoon or Christian Gonzalez. Either one, I think they help their secondary out.
Damien actually said something sensible, Donte. We need to clip this. He said this was a good move for the Steelers. Only problem I have is can Allen Robinson stay healthy? Okay, Damien. Kudos to you for saying something that actually makes sense. I give you that. The Chiefs add Wayne Garrett, the backup Patrick Mahomes. We all know Chad Henne left. Chad Henne left and rode the sunset. 2 Super Bowl wins. Even if Patrick Mahomes couldn't go on his ankle, I still think Chad Henne would have won that playoff game. Gabbert ain't nothing to blab about, but he's a backup. Just pray to God that nothing happens to Mahomes because Gabbert ain't gonna be it, even with the weapons around him that they do have. So just pray, Kansas City fans, that nothing happens to the Chiefs because Gabbert ain't it. Seeing the quarterbacks in this draft, we all know where Bryce is gonna go. We all know Stroud is gonna be the top quarterbacks. Then you have Anthony Richardson. Then you have Will Levis. Now the other quarterbacks we're not talking about, Max Duggan, even Stennet Bennett, who's still in the draft, Hendon Hooker. Where do you see these guys going? Who will take a chance on these type of quarterbacks? They even said that Hendon Hooker could end up possibly in the first round somehow. I've seen that forecasted. What do you think about those guys?
Well, I believe the guys that you named, they're going to be backup quarterbacks. They're going to be a lot of backup quarterback with the right situation. I believe. I think AR-15 is the most gifted quarterback in the draft, but I believe he will need to sit a year to develop. Will Levis, he needs to sit a year to develop. I don't believe he's trash at all. Disagree with most people saying he's garbage. Believe he's got upside. He's okay. He's not a bad quarterback. He's okay. He didn't have a great offensive line at all. He didn't have a great offensive line. The receivers weren't that good outside of one receiver. So, it's a little bit of flat. It's a little bit of also you can defend on him, but you can't defend on the decision making that he makes. He's got to get better at that. But I still think he can, with the right system and the right fit, he can become something. I don't believe the dude is all that bad, like everybody say he is. I don't believe he's all that bad. So Anthony Richardson has the most upside. I believe Anthony Richardson, I believe it's a possibility he can end up with the Panthers. I believe that it's a possibility he could. So I think it's going to be hard to tell where these quarterbacks are going to end up at because not a lot of teams basically like Tennessee Titans. I believe someone like AR-15 can end up with the Tennessee Titans. I don't think the Tennessee Titans in love with their quarterback situation. I believe there's a good chance one of them could end up at Seattle as a backup in case Smith don't work out. I believe, like I said, it's just a lot of things. It's hard to tell where these quarterbacks going to go, but I know two situations a quarterback can end up in. It's Tennessee and Seattle. Tennessee and Seattle. You just saying for basically Stetson Bennett and Matt Duggan them. I believe the Raiders could get a quarterback. I believe the Raiders can get a backup quarterback as well. Jimmy Garoppolo, he's going to be the starter, but I believe the Raiders can push for a backup as well. So I'm going to go with the Raiders. And the Commanders also. Heineke left. I believe the Commanders can push for a backup quarterback, even though I think they want Sam Howell to start a year, but I also think they can get in the quarterback discussion.
So now that Jalen Hurts got this contract, what does that mean for Lamar Jackson? Does Lamar just need to – it's been rumored that the Ravens have offered him $200 million guaranteed. Again, we all know Lamar don't have no agent. And we was messing around in the group chat saying Lamar need to go higher and get Nicole's go out and get Nicole, Jalen Hurts' agent, knowing all the stuff that she does. What does this mean for Lamar Jackson? Like, what are they doing? Is they waiting for Lamar? Is the Ravens even offering Lamar? Or are they just playing around? Is Lamar want to stay with Baltimore? Like, is that a standstill? Will we see Lamar Jackson in a Ravens uniform this year? Like, I'm over this. What's going to happen next?
I believe the Ravens will somehow try to keep Lamar Jackson. They will somehow try to keep Lamar Jackson entertaining, keeping him. I believe, you know what? They got Odell Beckham, and I believe Lamar Jackson actually has some say-so of who he want the Ravens to go get. If they get I'm going to tell you this. If they somehow can pull off a DeAndre Hopkins trade, I believe Lamar will sign back. I believe he will consider signing back. I believe he would do it. But other than that, I still think the foot is in the door for the Ravens. I don't think they're up out of the deal yet. I think they're going to, if Lamar gets an agent, I believe they'll figure out how to get the job done. So I believe it's a slight puncher's chance that he stays there. I believe it's still very much realistic that he can stay there. I believe he loves Baltimore. I believe he wants to be there. But Baltimore, I'm not going to say they don't have no faith in him because obviously they tried to offer him several times and he didn't take it. So again, hey, other than that, I believe one more move will solidify him being there. I think it's still wide open, though. He's waiting on his options.
You know what I'm over to? But besides that, Lamar does need to figure out something. Either you're going to stay or you're going to go. but no teams is biting for him either. So that's an issue too. They're scared of him being hurt to playoff time when they need him. 2 years in a row now, Baltimore's been in the playoffs and he hasn't been there. So do I think the Lamar Jackson needs to get paid? Of course I do. But Lamar needs to come up with what he wants. He's not going to get this Deshaun Watson type of deal. That's done and over with. The Ravens should have gave him that type of deal after he won his MVP season. That's when they should have gave him that money. But you wait too long, and now we in this standstill. We don't know what Lamar's going to do. Speaking of quarterbacks, what are the Jets' backup plan if they don't score Aaron Rodgers?
I think they're going to get him during the draft day. I think they're going to get him. I think they're going to actually get him during the draft day. So other than that, I think if they don't get him their backup plan, I think they need to draft a quarterback. But they need to figure that out. They need to figure it out that sooner or later because the draft is coming. So they need to figure that out sooner or later. I think something's going to go down in the draft. It's going to happen in the draft. I think the trade will possibly be done at the draft, in the draft scenario.
Definitely we'll see what's coming, but the Jets need to figure out something. Lamar wants that 230. He want that 230 guaranteed. He's not going to get that. He's not getting that 230 guaranteed. I'm sorry. He's not. Because what if he gets hurt again? In the playoffs, that's when you need him again. What happens? What happens? I don't. Lamar is just a tricky situation, but we'll see what the Ravens they do on draft day. I'm sure we're gonna see some type of trades go down on draft day, but moving on to the MLB for a little bit. The Reds, Green gets an extension, $53 million. Hunter Green, 6-year deal, $53 million. The right-hander. The MLB looks like they're testing out another rule. Why are they testing out another rule? Good grief. What are they doing now? I just had it. So MLB is experimenting with a double hook DH rule in the Athletic League where a team loses its DH if the starting pitcher fails to compete at least 5 innings. What type of sense? That makes absolutely no sense, MLB. Come on, Brad Manfred. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yankees fans, Stanton's going to miss 6 weeks. And that sucks because I have him on my dang fantasy. He strained his left hamstring. He's going to be out for 6 weeks. Looks like Radon, he's going to be out for a while. I think he's injured as well. What's going on with the Yankees?
Oh, they just can't get out of their own damn way. That's the problem. They can't stay healthy. They got good enough. Their pitching is not. Outside of Garrett Cole, their pitching is not up to par. And the Yankees, they just got too many injuries, man. They just got too many injuries. They got to stay healthy. If they can stay healthy, they can be a very good baseball team. They can stay healthy. The problem is they're not healthy, and their pitching staff outside of that suspect, outside of Garrett Cole is suspect.
Yeah, because Rodon, he's out since spring training with the strained left forearm, and he's bothered by his back. Then you got Josh Donaldson. He's been hurt. So I don't know about it's just the Yankees. All the Yankees got is Aaron Judge. But the Tatis the other night had a good outing. Looking at these standings here, finally somebody beats the Tampa Bay Rays, and that was the
Toronto Blue Jays.
So Toronto, they're not undefeated no more, but again, they're still winning the division right now. 14-3. Yankees right behind them. Toronto's right behind them. Minnesota 10 games for Texas. Meanwhile, the Phillies are losing, but you still got Atlanta and the Mets still winning. But they did this in the beginning of the season last year. they was winning all these games, and then miraculously the Phillies beat them. But I'm still not gonna panic yet. We 6-10. I'm not gonna panic just yet. When it comes with the Phillies, they just gotta figure out their base running. Milwaukee 12 games so far, they won. The Cubs is surprising me a little bit. They're 9-6, but they're right there in third place. You think about the Cubs?
Like I said, I thought they would have a start of the season. I thought they would have a good start of the season. I still think St. Louis will be better. I still think St. Louis will be better. They're turning on a notch, and the Milwaukee Brewers then got better. So I think the Cubs will be competing, but I don't think they will be better. I don't think they will continue to be better than the Brewers or the St. Louis Cardinals as of right now.
Pittsburgh's actually winning. Pittsburgh's winning 10 games. I didn't see that coming either, because you know how pooped that the Pittsburgh was. But Reynolds has been going off. He had, what you got tonight? You got the late game?
Yeah, I got the late game tonight.
Cubs better than the damn White Sox. Well, the White Sox is playing us right now, and I think we losing.
No, y'all winning 5-4. They gave up four runs though. You had a 5-0 lead. They gave up 4. Zach Wheeler gave up 4 runs.
And we got a doubleheader tonight too. We probably gonna lose that too. But anyway, yeah, I'm not in a panic about the Phillies just yet. But got the Tigers. Oh, the Tigers beat the Guardians today. They had a doubleheader too, and they're in their second doubleheader. So they're up against the Guardians. Then you got the Marlins and the Giants. You got the Rays and the Reds, Yankees. It's still a lot of baseball left to watch out for. Any other news with the MLB? Oh, Bryce Harper, he's taking some steps to coming back, but it looks like he might play first base when he comes back, only because, our first baseman situation, Rhys Hoskins, he gets hurt for the year ACL, and then Derek Hall, he goes out. He's going to be out for 2 months with a finger or hand issue. Then you bring in Bryce Harper, who hasn't played first base since his college days. I think it'll be a good move. He won't come in playing first base. He'll be DH, and then he'll move to first. What do you think about Harper switching over to first base?
Well, it was Garrett. I think that's not a bad move. Getting him out of the outfield where you pretty much won't bump into a wall or nothing, or have to be diving so much for the baseball. They try to make sure he keeps going, he stays healthy by moving to first base. So I'm not mad at the move. Nothing wrong with. I believe he's going to get it going.
Do you think Aaron Judge will do it again this year? 62.
I would say he hits 57 home runs.
Right.
About 57.
Remember this, guys. Donte said 57. Now, if he gets like 57, 58, Donte's all into the dang.
I'm right in the range. I'm right in the area. It's a big ad, but it's a big possibility he's going to get 60. It's a big possibility he can, but I'm going to say about that 57, 58 range area.
All right, so we at the hour mark. We're gonna end a little bit early, but before we do that, we're gonna go over preview of this Tank Davis and Garcia fight that's happening Saturday. It goes down finally. This boxing match. Donte, break it down. This Tank Davis fight.
Man, Tank Davis fight, man. I really like this fight, man. I really like this fight. So far, really like this fight. It's a big fight, need to be made pretty much. But other than that, I think Tank Davis will win the fight. But I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna actually go by split decision. I think Ryan Garcia can fight him enough. I think he can fight him enough to make the fight go distance. I believe he has the hand speed. I don't believe he has the power to knock out Tank Davis. I believe if it's a fight, if it ends in a knockout, Tank Davis will end up knocking out Ryan Garcia. If it ends in a knockout, but Tank Davis does struggle against those fast guys that can throw pretty fast. That throws a lot of punches. He struggled in the Leo Santa Cruz fight before he knocked him out. He struggled in the Rolly Romero fight before he ended up knocking him out with one punch. So he does have in Garcia, but Tank Davis was getting a hold of that fight. He was winning that fight before knocking out Garcia, not knocking him out, but TKing on him and making him go blind for a little minute on the stool. So other than that, the fight gonna end in a knockout. Will be Tank Davis knocking out Garcia, but I think Garcia got the. I think he can make it go long. I think he can make the fight go long. I think he boxes well enough for it to go long. So I'm gonna say Tank Davis. I'm gonna say Tank Davis win the fight by unanimous split decision.
Oh, Damien got Garcia KO in the 7th. It looks like Zhang upset Joyce with a TKO win in the heavyweights. Is there any more big names coming up they got scheduled?
Yeah, it's the Devin Haney and Lomachenko fight. That's gonna be a huge fight. I think I'm gonna go with Devin Haney on that fight. I think Devin Haney is gonna beat Lomachenko in that fight.
All right, and you got Jake Paul and Nate Diaz. Jesus Christ. Why? Just why? Look like the Phillies up. Nope.
Yeah, they up 7-4. Harrison just hit a home run.
Oh, the Phillies is up?
Yeah, 7-4. Harrison just hit a home run.
Let me find out. We might win 2 straight. We want to win the streak. But you got Shakur Stevenson. I know he puts up the lightweight division. I think he
moved up to 135, I believe. He moved up to the same division Devin Haney is up. He had an impressive showing against an undefeated fighter. I did the fight,
that's right. You did do that.
He TKO'd him. He pretty much knocked him out.
So who's next for Anthony Joshua?
Who's next for Anthony Joshua? It's hard to tell who's going to be next, but I hope next he finds out to draw Deontay Wilder in the fight.
Oh God!
And he's scared of Deontay Wilder. He's really scared of Deontay Wilder. So, or Tyson Fury could be a fight for him. Tyson Fury could be a fight.
Who cheat? Really, Damien? We cheating? We at the hour 13-minute mark. But again, we don't got too much nothing to talk about really. Draft next Thursday. Next Thursday is the draft. Tune on in, of course. Donte and I. Well, I'm gonna be filling in, poking my head in here and there. Dante's gonna hold things down for us while the draft's going on. See who goes number 1. The trades. Oh, trust me, I'm gonna poke my head in. If a trade goes down, that's crazy, especially with my Eagles. Any last words before we get on out of here?
Any last words? Like I say, man, a great show. Make sure everybody tune in to in the nightcap game. Got the Phoenix Suns and the Los Angeles Clippers in the nightcap game. So make sure y'all tune in to that game. So appreciate y'all for coming to the 54th episode of 7200 Seconds with me and Key. Been doing this for a while. So again, we gonna get to that 100 episode, man. We only 46 episodes away, so we straight.
Told y'all the 100th episode is gonna be a jersey giveaway, so make sure everybody tune in for that. Don't care who jersey it is. It could be hockey, it could be basketball, it could be football. Don't care. We're giving it away. But yeah, make sure y'all tune in because we also on the Sports Empire Network as well. Make sure y'all tune in to Coach Donte every morning on the Sports Empire Network for Coffee in the Morning Sports. Holding it down for the morning show as usual. I'm in the comments. Only time I can tune in, that'll probably be my day off. So probably Memorial Day, I might be up there with y'all because I can't be up here during the morning. But if things change, who knows? You might see my face. But anyway, appreciate y'all getting in the chat. I love interacting with y'all. Y'all the fuel that makes us go. Everybody, Damien, Khan, Burn, DLSG, always in the chat. Appreciate y'all, Sajid. Appreciate y'all in the chat. Tune in to, I don't know what's going on the Sports Empire Network today. I don't think they got Tuesday. I don't think they got the big 3 going on. But make sure y'all tune in Thursdays. Sports Corner with the Con Man. Con always having a guest. Him and Mike always break down NBA, whatever they're talking about. Make sure y'all support Con as well. He's on Thursday nights on Sports Empire Network. So tune in to the Con Man Show. Again, Khan knows his knowledge when it comes to basketball. History knowledge. Pick his brain. Come on into the chat. Make sure y'all support him. We're going to get on out of here. Yeah. Great show, guys. Appreciate y'all. We out of here. See y'all later.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up.